this means inflation, and this means poverty, and also this means that the middle class in the country is disappearing. So you have two types of people who are living in Lebanon now. You have the lucky ones who are rich, who already have their money. You have the people who are employed and who still get their fresh money from abroad. And these people are fine and they are okay up until now, regardless of the inflation. But then you have the other side, because you have no middle class anymore. You have people who lost their jobs. You have people who already get paid in a currency that has lost over 70% of its sum. You have a lot of goods that are missing from the market. You don't have options. And in addition to that, you have many jobs that have lost their value. So many of the people have also lost their jobs in the market here.
And as we talk about the Lebanese pounds, I know you said it's lost around 70% of its value. Some say that's over the past month. Others say about 80% since October. What sort of prospects are there currency-wise for the local currency, and any alternatives, as even foreign currency is also now starting to run out as well?
Well, basically what people started to do, some entities, some communities, they literally started to trade their goods. So if you're not from the middle class because it disappeared, then you're poor because you don't have money. So you want to preserve what is left of your cash. And now before our cash or our LBP currency turns out into monopoly papers with no value, people are trying to avoid spending this big sum of money, and they're trying to trade goods. So we had Facebook groups, we had Instagram groups where people were selling many of their valuables for food, for diapers, for milk. And this was a desperate attempt, and this was a call for everyone to take a look and to see how the Lebanese community is right now divided socially.
So with that bartering system in place, we also know that things like public services and utilities also tend to get affected when we see these sort of economic domino effects. Tell us about how the health system is being affected, especially during this COVID-19 pandemic.
So the lack of medical equipment in Lebanon has been in the talks since the Lebanon protests started. We've been hearing that there's a problem looming. We always had a problem of the availability also of medical beds in Lebanon, because you have private companies with insurance, and then you have the social insurance, social services in Lebanon that basically offer support for people who are employed independently or through the state as well. So we have a lack of medical equipment now. With coronavirus spreading, you could imagine how many people would need to be hospitalized, but there wouldn't be enough beds. And within this prospect, you have a lack of currency. So this means that the imports of important medicines have also haven't been going well for Lebanon as well, because so many people have chronic diseases, so many people need constant medicines, and with the lack of these medicines from the city or from the warehouses, the importers are not really able to import because you don't have the foreign currency. So this means that also within this pandemic, we are not really headed towards a very good place in terms of hospitalization or medical or medicine availabilities in the country.